ladies and gentlemen. Light always wins. It's a simple truth, yet one that holds incredible power. It may feel as though the weight of the world is too much, or that the forces around you are too strong to overcome. But no matter how dark it gets, the light is always present, always shining, and always ultimately prevailing. It's not about the absence of darkness, but about the persistence and the resilience of the light. Trusting your instincts is one of the most powerful tools you have when navigating relationships in life. It's that quiet voice, that gut feeling, or the faint discomfort that something just isn't right. For many of us, however, we've been conditioned to ignore our instincts. We second guess ourselves, convincing ourselves we're overthinking or being too sensitive. We want to believe the best in people, and in doing so, we sometimes silence the very signal that's trying to protect us. Your instincts are primal. They come from a deeper place within you, a combination of your experiences, observations, and subconscious cues your brain has picked up, even if you're not consciously aware of it. When someone's behavior feels off, when a comment lingers a little too long in your thoughts, or when your energy feels drained in their presence, that's your intuition speaking to you. It may not always provide clear evidence or immediate answers, but it doesn't need to. Its job is to alert you, to make you pause, to help you notice what you may have overlooked. The problem is that trusting our instincts often feels uncomfortable because it requires us to act before we fully understand what's wrong. It's easier to explain away bad behavior, ignore red flags, or assume we're the problem. After all, we want to give people the benefit of the doubt. But here's the truth, your instincts don't lie. If something feels wrong, it probably is. If someone's words don't align with their actions, your body will often sense the disconnect before your mind rationalizes it. If being around someone leaves you feeling uneasy, it's a sign worth exploring. Evil people, manipulators, liars, and those who take advantage of others are skilled at making you doubt your instincts. They know how to play on your insecurities, charm you with their words, and gaslight you into questioning yourself. You're being dramatic. That's not what I said. You're imagining things. These phrases are designed to override your inner compass. Before you know it, you're standing there unsure of your own reality. That's why it's critical to honor your instincts. The more you listen to them, the louder and clearer they become. They are your first line of defense against toxic people. Trusting your gut doesn't mean you have to react impulsively. That it doesn't mean you accuse anyone or jump to conclusions. It simply means you give yourself permission to pause, step back, and pay attention. Why did that interaction make you feel uneasy? Why are you hesitant to share your truth with this person? Why does their presence leave you feeling drained instead of fulfilled? You don't owe anyone blind trust. Trust is earned, and your intuition is allowed to guide you through the process. And remember, it's not unkind or unfair to listen to yourself. You have every right to create boundaries, to say no, or to walk away if something doesn't feel safe or right. Trusting your instincts is an act of self-respect. It's choosing to believe that your feelings are valid, that your experiences matter, and that your well-being deserves to come first. The more you honor your instincts, the more you will begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you are no longer at the mercy of other people's opinions, manipulations, or intentions. You are grounded, clear, and free. Your instincts are there to protect you, let them. They are not the voice of fear. They are the voice of wisdom. Actions speak louder than words, and they reveal the truth about a person far more clearly than anything they say. People can talk endlessly about who they are, what they believe, and what they intend to do. But words are easy. They require no real effort, no sacrifice, no proof. Actions, on the other hand, are where true character is shown. They are the evidence of someone's values, intentions, and integrity. If you want to know who someone really is, stop listening to what they say and start paying attention to what they do. It's tempting to give weight to promises and explanations, especially when we want to believe in someone. We want to trust their words because it feels hopeful, because it's easier than facing the hard reality of their behavior. When someone hurts us and apologizes, we want to believe they're sorry. When someone makes big claims about what they're going to do, we want to believe they're going to follow through. But here's the truth: intentions don't mean anything without action. Promises without follow-up are empty. Apologies without change behavior are meaningless. Think about the people in your life who consistently show up. They don't just say they care, they act on it. They are there when you need them. They follow through on their commitments. They make the effort to back up their words with real action. These are people you can trust because their actions align with their values. There's no guessing, no second guessing, no confusion. Their behavior tells you everything you need to know. Now think about the opposite people whose actions don't match their words. Maybe it's the friend who says they're always there for you, but disappears when you need them most. Maybe it's the partner who promises to change, but keeps repeating the same hurtful patterns. Maybe it's the coworker who claims to be a team player, but constantly undermines others to get ahead. These people may have great excuses, convincing explanations, or smooth apologies. But at the end of the day, their actions reveal the truth. They are not who they say they are. Evil or manipulative people rely on this disconnect. They say all the right things to keep you hooked, to create a version of themselves that you want to believe in. They use words as tools to charm, to distract, to manipulate. But if you look closely, their actions tell a different story. They are unreliable, unkind, or self-serving. They take but never give. They promise but never deliver. Their behavior consistently leaves you hurt, confused. You're questioning yourself. Pay attention to patterns. One mistake doesn't define a person, but consistent actions do. If someone repeatedly shows you through their behavior that they cannot be trusted, believe them. You don't need more words, more promises, or more explanations. The truth is already there, written in their actions. You deserve relationships where words and actions align, where trust is built on consistent behavior. Don't let anyone convince you to ignore what you see. When someone shows you who they are, trust it. It's not cynical to believe what actions reveal, it's wise. It's protecting your peace, your energy, and your heart. At the end of the day, actions are the only truth that matters. Words are fleeting, but actions leave a mark. They tell the real story. Pay attention. Empathy is one of the most powerful qualities we possess as human beings. It allows us to connect, to understand, and to show up for one another in meaningful ways. But too often, empathy is seen as a weakness, especially in a world that often values strength as toughness, detachment, or dominance. People who are deeply empathetic are sometimes told they're too sensitive, too soft, or that they'll get walked over. The truth, however, is that empathy is not a weakness, it's a profound strength. It takes courage to feel deeply, to understand someone else's experience, and to hold space for their emotions without losing yourself. Empathy requires vulnerability. It asks you to let down your guard, to listen with an open heart, and to imagine what it feels like to walk in someone else's shoes. It's easier to build walls and avoid that level of connection. It's easier to remain detached, indifferent, or judgmental. But that's not strength, that's fear. True strength lies in your ability to care, to remain compassionate, and to keep your heart open even when the world around you feels harsh. People who manipulate or act with cruelty often view empathy as something to exploit. They see kindness as an opportunity to take advantage of others. They use your compassion as a tool, twisting it to suit their agenda. You may find yourself overextending, overgiving, and over-explaining, all in the name of understanding or helping someone who doesn't deserve it. These experiences can make you question your own goodness. They can make you think that being empathetic is a flaw because it seems to leave you open to pain. But here's the truth, empathy isn't the problem. The real problem is when others exploit your empathy, when you don't have boundaries, or when you confuse being kind with allowing yourself to be mistreated. When balanced with self-respect and boundaries is a superpower. It allows you to connect with people on a deeper level, to understand perspectives that are different from your own, and to build relationships rooted in trust and care. It's what allows you to say, I see you. I hear you. I may not fully understand your experience, but I'm here to hold space for you. That level of connection changes lives. It heals wounds. It creates community. It's one of the most beautiful things we can offer each other. It's important to recognize that being empathetic doesn't mean allowing yourself to be a doormat. You can care about someone and still say no. You can hold space for their pain without taking responsibility for it. You can offer compassion without sacrificing your own well-being. Boundaries are what allow empathy to thrive. They ensure that your kindness isn't drained by people who take and never give. Being empathetic means you are strong enough to stay soft in a world that can feel hard. It means you have the courage to feel, to care, and to connect even when it's risky. That's not weakness, it's bravery. It's integrity. It's the kind of strength that has the power to change not just your life, but the lives of the people around you. Empathy doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. And there is nothing stronger than a human being who chooses to care, even in the face of darkness. Manipulation is often a subtle force that creeps into our lives undetected until it's already left its mark. Unlike overt deceit or violence, manipulation is quieter, more insidious. It doesn't always look like a blatant attack. It often wears the mask of concern, affection, or even care. A manipulative person may not raise their voice or openly argue. They may simply twist words, play on your emotions, or use your vulnerabilities against you. The power of manipulation lies in its ability to make you doubt your reality, question your feelings, and ultimately believe that you are the problem, not the person manipulating you. A manipulator's most powerful tool is their ability to make you feel like they are always in control of the narrative. They present themselves as the victim or as someone with noble intentions while subtly undermining your sense of self. One of the classic tactics is gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation where they make you feel as if you're losing your grip on reality. They might say things like you're overreacting or that never happened. When you start questioning your memory and your perceptions, they've succeeded. It's not about the truth, it's about shifting the balance of power to make you doubt everything that feels real to you. The power of manipulation is also in its ability to keep you in a constant state of confusion and self-doubt. Manipulators excel at creating contradictions. One minute they're warm and charming, making you feel special and loved. The next, they're cold or indifferent, leaving you wondering what went wrong. They might say one thing and do another, yet somehow they always find a way to turn it back on you. You know how sensitive you are, they might say, deflecting any responsibility for their actions. Over time, you may start to believe that their erratic behavior is a reflection of your own issues, not their manipulation. The subtlety of manipulation is what makes it so dangerous. Unlike overt abuse or conflict, manipulative behavior can be hard to pinpoint. It's easy to dismiss the small moments, the small comments, the subtle changes in behavior as nothing. But when those moments add up, they create a pattern that undermines your confidence and your sense of self. Manipulators often thrive on these gray areas, on the space between truth and fiction, between love and control, between care and exploitation. They know how to leave you feeling unsettled, constantly questioning what's real and what's not. Another aspect of manipulation is the way it preys on your empathy and desire to please. Manipulators are expert at playing on your kindness, making you feel responsible for their happiness or well-being. They'll turn their problems into your problems, making you feel guilty if you don't step in to help. They may even use guilt trips or emotional outbursts to get what they want. When you give in, they get their way, and you're left feeling drained, confused, and often resentful. What started as a small favor becomes an ongoing expectation, and you're caught in a cycle of overextending yourself for someone who never truly values your efforts. The subtle power of manipulation can distort reality to the point where you begin to lose sight of your boundaries and your needs. You might begin to put others' desires ahead of your own, to believe that you don't matter as much, or that you must continuously sacrifice for the sake of others. It's easy to get trapped in this cycle if you don't recognize it for what it is: manipulation. Understanding the tactics of manipulation gives you the clarity and strength to break free from it, to reclaim your sense of self, and to protect your peace. When you recognize that subtle power for what it is, you can start to set boundaries, trust yourself again, and rebuild a life where you are no longer controlled by someone else's distorted reality. Your worth is something intrinsic to you, something that can never be truly altered or diminished by the actions or opinions of others. It is a deep, unshakable truth that no one can take away. But in a world that often tries to define our value based on external achievements, appearance, or approval, it's easy to lose sight of this fundamental principle. We're constantly bombarded with messages that our worth is conditional if we are successful enough, attractive enough, or loved enough, then we are valuable. But these are false measures of self-worth, and if we let them define us, we risk losing the core of who we are. Your worth is not determined by your failures, your mistakes, or your shortcomings. It's not based on how much you earn, what you can give, or how others perceive you. Your value comes from within, from your humanity, your capacity to love, your ability to grow, and your resilience in the face of challenges. It is a steady, unchanging truth that exists simply because you are. Every single person has inherent worth, and no matter how anyone else might try to make you feel, that worth is non-negotiable. We allow others to define our worth. We allow toxic people to make us feel small, insignificant, or unworthy of love and respect. We tolerate relationships and situations where we are treated as less than, where our needs are disregarded and our feelings are dismissed. We tell ourselves that if we just try harder, if we just give more, if we just change something about ourselves, we will be accepted, loved, or valued. But the truth is, your worth was never in question. No amount of changing, pleasing, or earning will ever make you any more valuable than you already are. It's crucial to recognize that your worth is not tied to anyone else's approval or validation. Other people may try to project their insecurities onto you, but their opinions of you do not define you. When someone undermines you or makes you feel less than, it's a reflection of their own issues, not a reflection of your value. You cannot allow others to dictate your sense of self-worth. No one else gets to decide how much you matter. Recognizing that your worth is non-negotiable also means understanding that you don't have to tolerate mistreatment. It's about setting boundaries and saying, I deserve respect, love, and kindness because I am worthy of it just as I am. When you truly grasp this truth, you stop compromising yourself to fit into others' expectations or to gain their approval. You stop seeking validation from outside sources and start affirming your own value. This doesn't mean you won't make mistakes or face rejection. It means you know deep down that your worth remains intact regardless of the circumstances. Your worth is not something that needs to be earned or proved. It is already yours. No one can take it away, and no one can negotiate it down. When you learn to stand in the fullness of who you are, unashamed and unapologetic, you will stop allowing others to dictate your value. You will create space for people who recognize and appreciate your worth, and you will learn to protect it fiercely. Your worth is the foundation upon which you build your life. It is a gift that you were born with, and no one can ever change that. The courage to walk away is one of the most profound acts of self-respect you can offer yourself. It's a decision that doesn't come easily, especially when emotions are involved and when we are attached to people, places, or situations that no longer serve us. We often find ourselves staying longer than we should out of fear, guilt, or the belief that we should make things work even when deep down we know it's time to let go. But the truth is, walking away isn't a sign of weakness. It is a powerful, courageous act of protecting your peace, your dignity, and your future. Walking away doesn't mean you give up. It doesn't mean that you didn't try or that you aren't capable of working through challenges. In fact, it takes immense strength to walk away from something you care about, especially when you've invested time, energy, or love into it. The courage to walk away is a decision to prioritize your own well-being and growth over comfort or familiarity. It's choosing yourself when staying would only cost you your peace, your joy, or your sense of self. It's easy to feel trapped in situations where you are not being treated with the respect or care you deserve. We tell ourselves that things will get better, that we can change people, or that we just need to try harder. The problem is that we start to lose sight of ourselves in the process. We become so focused on fixing things or pleasing others that we forget we are worthy of healthy, reciprocal relationships. Walking away requires the courage to believe that you deserve more than what you're receiving, and that it's okay to let go of what no longer fits your life. The decision to walk away can be painful, especially when it involves people we love. But sometimes love means letting go. It means acknowledging that no matter how much you care for someone, you can't stay in a relationship that diminishes your worth or compromises your happiness. Whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, or a toxic work environment, staying in situations that hurt you will only prolong the pain. It's often the fear of the unknown, the fear of being alone, or the fear of loss that keeps us stuck in unhealthy dynamics. But in truth, staying is often the greater loss. When you stay in something that no longer aligns with your values or growth, you're sacrificing your own potential for the sake of maintaining a comfort that is actually stifling you. Walking away is not an easy choice, and it's not something that happens overnight. It's a process of recognizing your worth and understanding that you don't need to settle for less than you deserve. It's learning to trust that by walking away, you are making space for better things to enter your life, things that truly honor who you are and where you're headed. The courage to walk away isn't about closing doors. It's about opening new ones, new opportunities for personal growth, new relationships that nurture you, and new possibilities that allow you to live a life of integrity and peace. The journey of walking away teaches you resilience. It shows you that you are capable of moving forward even when it feels uncertain. It builds your confidence as you learn to trust your instincts and honor your needs. Every time you choose yourself, you reinforce the belief that you are worth fighting for. Walking away isn't about giving up, it's about creating the space for something better to emerge. It's about walking into your future unapologetically free and ready to embrace everything that is meant for you. Light always wins. It's a simple truth, yet one that holds incredible power. It may feel as though the weight of the world is too much, or that the forces around you are too strong to overcome. But no matter how dark it gets, the light is always present, always shining, and always ultimately prevailing. It's not about the absence of darkness, but about the persistence and the resilience of the light. Darkness can manifest in many ways through challenges, through the actions of others, or through our own doubts and fears. It may feel overwhelming at times, like it will swallow everything whole. Yet the truth is that darkness is temporary while light is eternal. When you find yourself in moments of struggle or despair, remember that the light is always there, quietly waiting for you to acknowledge it. It may not always burst forth in dramatic waves, but it's present in small acts of kindness, in moments of hope, in the love that surrounds you, and in your own ability to rise above difficult circumstances. Light always wins because it does not ask for permission to exist. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment to shine, it simply does. Think about the smallest light, perhaps the flicker of a candle in the darkness. Its brilliance may seem small, but it can dispel even the deepest shadows. The more light you allow into your life, the more you become a beacon for others. Light is contagious. When you choose to live with hope, kindness, and compassion, you inspire those around you to do the same. Your light doesn't just help you, it illuminates the path for others too. But light isn't always easy to find, and it isn't always easy to maintain. The world can be heavy, and life can test your resolve. There are moments when it feels easier to give in to cynicism, bitterness, or despair. But in those moments, remember that light does not falter or fade because of the darkness, it simply shines brighter. Your ability to rise above, to remain hopeful, to choose love over hate, and to practice kindness in the face of adversity is what makes the light stronger. Every positive choice you make, every kind word you speak, every moment of peace you create adds to the collective brightness of the world. The light also wins because it is rooted in truth. Darkness thrives on confusion, fear, and deception, but light is anchored in clarity, understanding, and authenticity. When you stand in your truth, when you show up as your true self, you cannot help but illuminate the world around you. Your light cannot be dimmed by falsehoods or by those who seek to control or manipulate. It is unwavering, steady, and unyielding. The more you choose to embody light in your life, through your actions, your mindset, and your intentions, the more it transforms you. The light inside you is a reflection of your inner strength and your capacity for growth. No matter how many obstacles you face, the light will always find its way. And just as the stars shine brightest in the darkest skies, so too does your light shine brightest when you need it the most. Light always wins because it is not dependent on the world around it. It is woven into the fabric of who you are and cannot be extinguished. Keep shining. The world needs your light.